So I'm recording this at night because, schoolwork and I was busy. So I had to get to this shit later. Bear with me on the lighting and the ceiling fan in the background. I know the lighting a 2-pack of ass, but don't worry though. We back in this hoe. We still got some new content, you feel me? So we gonna get you right out the way. So basically today's topic was, do you feel as if I asked a woman this, I asked her, do you feel as if black men protect black women? As you can tell by the title. I wanted to make this video in light of the little situation that happened in Houston when a woman was allegedly assaulted with a brick for not giving a man her phone number. So yeah, I just wanted to, really talk about that topic, give it, I guess you could say, some open dialogue. And yeah, I got a video for you and I ain't gonna hold you too long. Let's jump right into the video.
So, damn, you my homeboy, so I really don't even gotta give an introduction for real, but I guess I'm gonna give one. So this is my homegirl Zoe. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead, say your little name, say your IG if you want to. Put your information out there.
Okay, my name is Zoe Daniels. My IG is Z_E_Daniels, DANIELS. I'm a sophomore here at Troy studying pre-health / kinesiology.
But the question I got today is the main topic. I had told you about it beforehand, obviously. Do you think black men protect black women in America?
I think there's a there's a yes and no. A lot of the times, I'll hold it. So a lot of the times, we hear black men don't protect black women because they throw us under the bus, or it's they're too ghetto, they're too ratchet, or we don't like the way they do this, or blah blah blah. Um, but in general, I think they try to. I think it's just they just don't know how anymore. Yes, because they've grown up with their parents being separated, or their parents not loving each other, being in good relationships, or they're not close with their siblings. Even with black women, you see your parents divorced or not in a healthy relationship, or you see your grandparents unhappy and still together, or you don't have a good relationship with your uncle or your father or your brother or somebody. So it's not that they don't. I think it's just they don't know how. They try their best, of course, because you see a lot of, oh, I love black women, I'm pro black women, or if my sister got hurt, I'd protect you. My sister's best friend, I protect her too, or my cousin, something like that. We're it's a 50-50,
Right.
honestly.
I had told you a little situation, a little scenario. I told you with the woman that was attacked with a brick because she
Yes.
didn't want to give a man her
Yes.
phone number. I heard a lot of black men, obviously, men in general, but a lot of black men were saying, well, you can't expect a man to protect you because you don't know what he could be doing, because that could in his safety being harmed. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts towards that?
I believe that protecting women isn't the job of a man,
You think
because
you say it's the job? It's the job of a
yeah,
man?
I don't think it's a job of a
Okay.
man, because this is going to sound weird, but let me explain. We shouldn't put ourselves in situations where we can get hurt, because some women provoke men and then expect, oh, I'm gonna get my brother to come beat you up. Well, I should have never provoked you.
Right.
But if I give you my number, or if I give you a fake number because I don't want to talk to you, and you come up and run up on me, I'm not expecting a man to protect me, but it would be nice if I
Right.
could have, a tall figure, or, a masculine figure to protect me, because in society I'm seen as small and petite. I may not be small and petite. I could be a 6'4", black woman who lifts 350, but in a man's eyes, I will always be small. So it would be nice if a woman can't protect herself, especially from a brick, that a man could step up and be like, hey, that's too much, or, you shouldn't do that to a woman, blah, blah, blah. It's not their job, but it would be nice. So,
As a black woman, do you feel safe or protected? Whether it be like walking out at night or just walking out amongst the public, whether it be with your friends, like, do you feel safe, or do you fear that things like that, what happened to that woman, could happen to you?
I don't feel safe. Me personally, I have the mindset of, if I need to protect myself, I will build up whatever kind of adrenaline I have and just do whatever I can. But I've never felt safe. Even as a child, I've been told, stick with your brother, stick with your dad, stick with, even my mom, who was taller than me, because you're a small black girl. Now that I am older, no, I've never felt safe. It's just, even on campus sometimes, walking out at night, I'm very vigilant. I definitely am aware of my surroundings because I know at any moment someone can run up on me and throw a brick at me. But anyone can run up on me, and it's not a comfortable feeling because in my head I know even with my stature now, if I was a guy, there would be a less chance of someone running up on me. There would be a less chance of someone, a group of guys run up on me and picking me up or, driving next to me trying to figure out where I live or, following my car or something like that. So I just
And one of the things I always say, I mean, I'm relatively, I guess you could say, liberal or independent, like in like my political views. But one thing that I do kind of support more so is just like always protecting yourself. And I think we should definitely see, because a lot of men do it. A lot of men have open carry with their weapon or concealed carry. We should see a lot of black women start to, you done spent all that money to get your nails done. Go ahead and buy you a motherfucking Glock. So if a nigga run up on you, you can really, you know what I'm saying? Because that mace is cute and that shit cool and everything, but a Glock gonna get a nigga off you. You show a nigga pepper spray, he gonna be like, oh, it's just pepper spray. You show a nigga a Glock 4.5, he gonna get up off you real fast.
So my family, my grandparents are country. My mother and her siblings grew up in Demopolis, which is north of here but south of Alabama. It's, cows and trees.
You're right.
So my grandfather taught my mother, her sisters, and her brother how to shoot. So my aunts carry around a gun in their car or with them in their purse, something like that, and stuff like that. I've never carried one. I can't remember the Alabama law if I'm old enough to carry one yet. I'm 19.
You gotta be 21.
Okay, so I'm not old enough to carry one yet, but I've been shooting since I could pick up a pencil. So my father grew up country, so I've learned how to shoot. But I'm not a pepper spray gal. I'm more of a taser pocket knife because pepper spray can only go so far. You never run out of a knife. A knife can't break in someone's arm. So if my pepper spray ain't working, then you're messed up. So I'm a big fan of women defending themselves, especially with pepper spray, because a lot of times people don't like people to carry weapons, especially one that you can't register for. So like a knife or a shank or something like that, or a taser, because they seem it is deadly. But if you have a gun on you, it's fine to carry in the store.
I get what you're
So,
saying.
but I'm a big fan of anything and everything.
I think another thing that helps is like more so like I guess you could say the shock value, because like you see a pepper spray, like if you're a criminal, it's like, oh, I've seen this before, but like you see a woman pull out a gun, or like let's say you grab somebody and you just get shanked, you be like, this bitch stabbed me, like it's like a lot more effective. And then oftentimes too, like what I've heard is that you pull out a gun, you don't even have to use it. Like the fact that they saw a gun is like, okay, I'm gonna back up a lot right now for sure.
There's a story of my friend. Her mother had a gun with her, but she didn't have it loaded because she had a baby with her at the time. The baby's grown up now, but she used to have a gun in her purse. And so a guy walked up to her car and she pulled it out of her purse. It wasn't loaded. There were no anything in there, and the guy just took off running. So it is definitely a shock value, because if you see a guy walk up with a gun, I knew that guy had a gun. But if you see a woman pull out a gun and threaten to shoot you, you're automatically like, oh, she means business, because we're scared. And at the end of the day, it's me before you, and I'll shoot you 1,000 times and miss 99 if I have to, just to get you away from me. So it's definitely a shock value, and women need to start carrying definitely open carry. If you have a sundress on, cut it up at the hip and wear a holster right
there. A Glock with the sundress is crazy. That's crazy. You got the ass out and the Glock out. You not playing.
Not playing. Right there on the thigh.
Man, ass out, mag out. That shit crazy.
Put that on a t-shirt. I like that.
Ass out, mag.
Ass out, mag out. I like that. I have with a pretty pink girl with a gun like that. Yeah, I like that. But it's definitely
you go on the microphone.
Okay, it's definitely a misogynistic thing as well, because a lot of the times you see women, especially like way back, women weren't allowed to shoot guns. We weren't allowed to learn how to sword fight. We weren't allowed how to do this, that, and the third. So it's a shock value, and you don't typically see women learn how to shoot because that's a man's thing. So women were, again, trained to depend on a man for protection.
And you also create like that damsel in distress narrative
Yes,
too.
yes. And so when we don't have men to protect us, we're kind of like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Learn how to shoot, because it's 2023 where it's way past the whole like women can vote and we now can work in mines and go in the army. You need to learn how to protect yourself, because the men do see us as small and petite, but we can also be a threat if we need to.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Have you ever like personally? This may sound like kind of personal, but I know not of that magnitude. But like, have you ever been like attacked or harassed by a man in the
Oh
past?
yeah. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but it's definitely a generational thing. In middle school, it wasn't nothing too severe, but it still happened. I've been catcalled. I've been called out my name. I've been approached at night at a gas station. Actually, this recent weekend, I was approached at a gas station, and the guy was just standing like I'm 5'6", so I'm not that tall, but I'm not that short.
Right.
And he approached me, and he was looming over me. Can I get your number? How old are you? Blah blah blah. This past summer, I was in my car driving, and a guy on the back of a truck threatened to throw stuff at me because I wouldn't give him my number. And he like the truck was in front of me, and so I was headed home. So I was scared to turn into my home because I knew he would see it, whether he would remember it or not. You see what I'm saying? So I was on the phone with my mom, scared, because this guy on the back of a work truck was threatening to throw trash and his tools and stuff at me because I wouldn't give him my number. So it's come to the point where I tell people that I'm 17 or I'm 16 because they see my keys, but they don't know how old I am. I tell people that I'm young, and then they'll hit me with so when will you turn 18? Yeah, it's been happening since I developed, or since I've become a woman.
And I think, and I think in regards to like the whole woman getting attacked, I think it also starts first at the home, because it's like, as we know, like abuse and violence comes in all forms, not just the physical. It comes in sexual as well. And that's like a big issue within the community, because like you'll see like a little girl walk around the house and the mom would be like, put some damn pants on, put some clothes, cause your uncles. And I'm just looking like, bruh, like, cause like I saw a video and like it pretty much summarized it best. It talks about how a lot of these women are fast, and it's like some of these girls may be fast, but these niggas always find a way to catch up.
Yes,
you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like all these girls are fast, but there's always a nigga catching up. Like ain't that like the biggest issue? And it's like certain things like certain things really aren't even fast. You just sexualizing the fuck out of a child. Like let's say a kid is wearing she's like 7 or 8 and she's wearing like some small ass shorts. Okay, we can create a discussion along the lines of that. But when you talking about like, oh, she got her hair dyed, or she wearing eyeliner, she moving fast. No, nigga, you just a creep. That's what that comes to. Like, you're just a sick nigga.
It's also racial, because you see little white children, little white girls go out in the two-piece bathing suit, or you see them doing cheer gymnastics with their hair and they're dolled up, or you see them do pageants and they're twirling batons and they're in these tiny with the big hair, and they're like, oh, she looks like a young woman. That child is 5, but they don't call them fast. But if my little sister, who's 9 now, but when she was younger, if she were to wear a cute little dress, or she would wear some shorts, that baby need to put on some pants. She's 5. She's 5. If you are a guy, a grown man who pays bills, a grown man who can vote, drive a car, and legally drink, why are you looking at that little girl being, she need to put some pants on, I can see her thighs? Okay, she's 5. She need to put some clothes on, I can see her diaper. She running around without no clothes on. She's 5. She's 2. She's 2 months old. That baby don't need to put on no clothes. You need to look within yourself and ask yourself, why am I uncomfortable seeing this little girl who can't speak run around the house, run around in her mother's house with a shirt on, with just a shirt on? Why am I uncomfortable with my niece, who is 12 years old, walking around in shorts when it's 90 degrees outside? Why am I uncomfortable seeing my daughter walk around in a spaghetti strap shirt? Why am I uncomfortable? Because that's the same child you grew up with. That's the same child you grew up with. You wiped her butt. You took her to her baseball games, or dance classes, or soccer practice, or whatever. You did her hair. You watched your wife give birth to that child. And now that 10 years later, she's got some meat on her bones, you're like, you need to cover that up. Why? I'm in my house. I grew up with you. So what you're telling your daughter, your niece, your child, your cousin, your blah, 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 is that you can't trust me around you. Because I look at you and I see just another woman. I see another feminine body. I see another sex object. You can't trust me.
Crazy.
You can't trust your grandfather. You can't trust your uncle. The same people that used to take you on fun little trips when you were a baby, you can't trust them anymore. Because when they see your developed body, they don't see, oh, my baby girl. They see a woman. They see somebody they can get with.
Right.
Even if they don't want to.
Right. And I think it also like goes back to, I don't want to say, because I don't want to use music as an excuse, because you can't use music as an excuse as to, like, abuse. That's not a good excuse. But within the media, you just see that black women have always, from the time that we got here through slavery up until now, through the ignorance that you see on TV, like, we've always been, like, viewed as violent and over sexualized.
Yes.
And I think because the media always portrays black women to be so ghetto, it takes away from the feminization of them.
Yes.
So when they get attacked, they're like, oh, you act over masculine anyway. Why do you need help? You get where I'm coming from? Because, like you said, I guarantee if it was a white woman that got hit with a brick, the response would have been a lot more different. They would have been caring. They would have gotten a lot more care. They would have gotten involved.
It would have been save little Annie Kate because she got hit with a brick and she was attacked by a big brute man and she didn't deserve this. Well, why is this black woman not getting the same respect? And it's definitely media as well. But because, thank you. Sorry. But the same way we're able to separate Marvel from regular New York, and we're able to separate, whoever's music is out right now from any other black man, why can't we separate the show that black women put on from not actual black women, but the reality black women live in? Because not all black women drive, these big fancy cars and are out every night and partying and wearing short shorts. So it's a show. It's a show, yeah.
Okay.
So why is it that, like, let's say, I can't think of a good one.
Like Bad Girls Club?
Yeah. So not all black women are like that, but there are some that do behave like that. If we're able to separate, let's do this. If we're able to separate a racist white person from all other white people, not all white people are like that. If we're able to separate a Jackie Chan movie from actual Asia, not every Asian knows karate or is good at math or, does all these things. If we're able to separate the terrorism we see in overseas in Islam and Iran from
actual Middle Eastern people.
From actual Middle Eastern people.
Why
can't we separate black women from the show that's put on in media and music? Because that's all it is.
Right. Why can't we separate black men and women from those negative stereotypes?
It's entertainment. Even with this, if we're able to separate movies or stories, not stories, but like movies about the Army, where they're flying these planes and they're jumping out with jetpacks and stuff like that because it's 20,005, 2050, something like that. Or if we're able to separate futuristic things like the Matrix from actual 2020, why can't we separate black women are literally existing in front of you. And you're looking at them and you're seeing the entertainment that you've consumed. Black men are existing in front of you and you're seeing the entertainment that you consume. People are existing in front of you, and we're so in a
desensitized.
Yes, thank you. We're in an entertainment mindset where, this Asian person has to know math and has to do karate because I've seen it on TV. This black woman has to have long nails and, talk like this and wear this because I've seen it on TV. This black man has to do this. This white person has to be like that because I've seen it on TV. We can't separate fact from fiction. So that's a lot of the reason why it's hard for people to understand how to protect black women, because in their eyes they don't need to be protected because they don't act like they need to be protected.
Why do you think black women quote unquote act as they don't need to be protected?
Well, I mean,
why do you think they feel as they don't need to be protected?
Well, I mean in the media presence.
Okay. Because
yeah.
the media portrays them as women that don't need to be protected.
As women who fight all the time, especially in Bad Girls Club, you see them fighting each other. Or
okay.
So you see
that's a good point.
Yeah.
So black women. Oh wow.
Yes.
So men don't feel the need to protect black women because they give off the image through media that they don't need to be protected.
But if you see a white woman on the show, it's protect the white woman. Blah, 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 blah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Even like when you ever seen like the movie? You heard like the movie Kill Bill?
Yes, I have.
Like with Kill Bill when she was that's a white woman standing on business. Oh, she's so strong. Yep. She don't. Okay.
Yep.
That's.
Yep.
Damn, that shit crazy. Mom, oh fuck my head.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, and one last question: what is advice that you could give like any black women out here? We discussed some like what is advice you can give like black women to protect themselves, so they don't have to be dealing with situations like we saw one woman that got hit. Like what if advice like any? Like I know you can't prevent all of it, but like what would it be like? I hear walking in groups, don't go out at night. Maybe like what advice would you give?
Walk in groups, share your location with everyone, have a plan. If you're going out with friends, I read a story where a woman had hand signals where she was with a guy, a thumbs up to say they're good, or they would scratch their head like that to say, come help me, or, they move their hair a certain kind of way to be like, I'm ready to go. If a man asks for your number, I would rather you give him your number and then block him than for you to give a fake number and him try to call you there on the spot. Or say, I don't give out my number, but you can have this Instagram and have a separate Instagram account that you keep sort of active and you can block him there. If I literally just learn how to shoot a gun, walk in groups, always have an escape plan, because the rate at which people go to harm not only black women but women in general is crazy, because I've heard stories where women have been followed, hit, kidnapped, they've been put out on social media because they wouldn't give a guy their number, or they told a guy, no, I have a boyfriend. Also have a male friend. If you have, even if, I hate saying this, but even if he's a gay friend who's not even close to being interested in women, always have a guy friend that you can call, or that would be willing to go out with the girls, or have a group of guy friends that you can trust, which once again is hard because it goes back to the men liking women and over-sexualizing, blah, 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 blah. But just stay vigilant, watch your surroundings, always have an escape plan, share your location with trusted people, even if that is just your mom and your best friend, or your aunt and your sister, or, your neighbor across the street, something like that. Always have somebody knowing your location. So, yeah.
I want to thank my homegirl Zoe for being in the video. I appreciate you for helping me make content. It means so much.
It is no problem.
We've been trying to get this video done for a good little minute, and we finally got it done. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Yes.